Hi there, my name is Jared Humphrey, and in this video I'm going to go over how I beat some college kids with no ACL in my right knee. So, kind of just to give you a little bit of a backstory, back in Thanksgiving, I was trying to just get ready for a meet coming up, and I was doing just stiff-legged jumps, and when I landed, my knee bent inward, I couldn't walk, and I went to my doctor at Tosh later that day, and she starts feeling some tests, and she's like, "Okay, I think you're gonna need an MRI." And well, I was like, "Okay." And about 3 weeks ago, I got my MRI, and my wife is a nurse, and she looked at the results, and come to find out that I tore my ACL off the bone, but it wasn't from this previous injury. Because my doctor did mention that she wasn't nervous about the last injury I had with this knee in about a week before Thanksgiving. It was 2 years ago. So if I want to go back about 2 years, well, I'm going to go actually about 3 years ago. So about 3 years ago, I trained for the decathlon. I was trying to make the Olympic team for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. And I hurt my knee about the second to last meet of the year I was trying to train for was another USATF sanctioned meet. And I had a PR in that hurdle race, but I landed wrong and my knee bent inward a little bit, and I hobbled to the finish line, and then my season was done, unfortunately. Fast forward though, in 2022, I did the decathlon again. Wasn't as great because obviously I was recovering from a knee injury, but it was still a fun season, and I hyperextended my knee a little bit like during that meet with doing pole vault, and I still finished the meet. I was really happy with it. Coming into later that year, around August, I decided to do was go play basketball. And I thought to myself, okay, you know what? Not a problem. Just going to play some basketball, have some fun with these kids that I coach. And, nothing wrong, right? Instead, I landed on a guy's foot. My knee bent super far inward, and I heard a pop. And that's obviously when I tore my ACL. But I didn't think of that because, how the media kind of portrays it and stuff like that. They would say you're in very much excruciating pain. Don't get me wrong, I was in pain, but I was thinking tearing an ACL, I'd be in a lot more pain and that I couldn't walk. But I was on the ground, my knee swelled up pretty bad, and I didn't swell up actually. But I was on the ground holding my knee, and I thought, gosh, I think I tore my ACL. And I stand up though afterwards, and I started walking out of the building. The reason why I thought I tore my ACL was the pop, which I actually was right. Anyway, about a year goes by, and I start doing like rehab stuff with these people I know in Draper, Utah, called Athlecare. An absolutely great place, by the way. If you're ever in the Draper or Pleasant Grove area, they've got some really good facilities that you can work with to get better in recovery. And anyway, so I do that, and I decided to kind of do on a brief retirement. I just was getting unmotivated, depressed, and then my coach died in March of 2023, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to train for my coach because they were hosting an upcoming meet in June for his honor for the track and field community, and unfortunately they canceled it. So I still decided to do was train. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to train, get in shape, look good for my wife, because at that time we were getting married in July, and you know what, it was great. We went on our honeymoon. I came back, and I decided for myself that I wanted to compete again. So when I decided I wanted to compete again, obviously I still had some knee issues, so I decided to do first was go on the bike, strengthen my knee, work on stability works, like standing on uneven surface or a Bosu ball, and then doing some TKEs where you're just extending and flexing the leg, so that way it can, with the bungee, so it can strengthen the ACL, which obviously I didn't have. And I was doing leg extensions, leg curls, basically trying to strengthen that knee and make it stable. And then I progressed to more running on treadmills, the usual treadmill, and then the U treadmills where you can push down on the treadmill, and that's how fast you're going. And it was great. A couple of times, though, during the training year for the 2024 season, I had some issues like here and there. My knee would buckle. Like if I ran a 300-meter run, all of a sudden, like near the last 150, it would buckle weird here and there. So I went back to Athlecare just for advice on this, and they said, well, you know what? Have you been doing knee rehab like 3 times a week? And at the time I wasn't. So they said you need to be doing that 3 times a week for injury prevention. So I started doing that, and it worked out. And I actually also decided to do was change my workout plan a little bit. I didn't really run as much on the turn on the track, which probably helped, but I still did here and there, and it got the job done. So by the time it got to the indoor season, I ran in a college meet, got my butt kicked in the 60-meter dash. I only ran the 60 besides a couple of meets. And then I go to Stacy Dragila up at Idaho State University, and I ran a good race. I won my heat. I beat some college kids. And the weird part was, though, coming off the turn, I could feel another bend going in on my knee again, coming off the turn. So I was like, shoot, man, I got to keep strengthening that knee. I thought it was already strong, but I still kept strengthening it, making it stable. But anyway, I won that heat, super excited. He was like, cool, I beat some college kids. It was a great track meet. All in all, I'm excited. And then further down the road, I kept progressing, ran that same 200 again, ran faster, and over at the Simplot Games in Idaho State University. And then finally, the outdoor season starts. And my first meet was at Utah Valley University. And I thought to myself, hey, you know what? If I can just break 12 seconds, or if I even just run in the 12s, I'll be happy. And I ran 11.9, and that's obviously not an eye-popping like time in the 100-meter dash. You want to break the 11s, go in the 10s. That's usually when you're roughly pretty good at sprinting in the 100-meter dash. But anyway, I beat 2 college kids in that race too, so I was just super excited. You know, here's this guy who went on a retirement for about a year or two, and then come to find out he actually had no ACL and a torn meniscus in 2 places, his knee. And yeah, it was great. You know, I was super confident in myself, and I finished the year off with 11.6, which, again, not eye-popping results, but you know what? I was super excited and super happy how everything went. And, you know, the biggest thing, if I can tell you the moral of the story, is number one, get insurance, because obviously, you know, we live in America, and, you know, we don't have free health care. So very ideally, you should probably get insurance. But what I also learned from this story is, you know, ACL tears, yes, you should get them fixed. That's the first thing I'm going to say, because my doctor said if I hurt it again, I increase my risk of having arthritis in this knee at age 40, and I'm 30. So definitely make sure you get insurance. But at the same time, you know what? If you do anything you set your mind to, you can do some great things. And I think that's super important for everybody to remember that. It's, you know, it's not necessarily the destination, it's the journey. And, you know, this journey of me learning now made me more confident in my abilities for the future when I come back to training when I do my surgery. So anyway, tomorrow around 7:45 a.m., I'm going to have my official visit with my surgeon, and we can figure things out. Hopefully I don't have to repair the meniscus. My doctor doesn't think so, but we'll kind of just see where it is. I've still been able to actually run, and I've still been able to work, go on the bike again. You know, my knee's just a little unstable from the injury I had near Thanksgiving. But all in all, it's been such a fun opportunity. And, you know, I can say this, it's interesting what the body can do to compensate and heal, because I felt like $1 million last year. But I guess what happens is as long as you run in a straight line and you have a torn ACL, you're fine. But the risk of you making cuts and stuff like that can tear your meniscus even more, and then you get arthritis at a young age. It's not worth it. So all I want to just say, though, is thank you all so much for listening to this, and if you're interested, go ahead and like and subscribe for this YouTube channel, and I'll try and make more track and field content. Anyway, have a great night, everybody.